So I've recently been looking through the comments on Dividend YouTube videos, and from my observation, probably the biggest complaint people have about dividend growth investing is just how big of a portfolio you need and actually to be able to live off of dividends. If you watch other YouTube videos, you'll see that oftentimes, people who are actually living off dividends usually have around $1 million or more in their stock portfolio. Saving $1 million seems like a monumental task, right? Even if these people didn't start out with this much money, they still had to wait years and years for their portfolio to actually grow into this high amount. And for many people, being able to save up this much money in their lifetime is extremely unlikely. I'm assuming a lot of you probably clicked on this video because you're a dividend investor yourself, and you're discouraged because you've been putting money into dividend stocks and you've realized that you'll need a lot of money in order to live off dividends anytime soon. Maybe you have dreams of retiring early in life, maybe before you turn 50 or maybe even 40. Maybe you want to be part of the FIRE movement and you've come to the realization that dividend growth investing isn't going to get you there fast. You've realized that it's going to take you years and years, potentially even decades, to get to a point where you can live off passive income. If you want to live off dividends without waiting decades, there's a different strategy you can take in order to get to that point much faster in your life. I'm not familiar with an official name for this strategy, so I'm just going to refer to it as income investing, and I know that dividend growth investing is often referred to as income investing, but for the purpose of this video, there's going to be a distinct difference between the two. Please keep in mind one thing though. My goal is not to trash dividend growth investing, because dividend growth investing works. It's a great investment strategy to use in order to make money. But my main point is that it's not an appealing strategy for everyone, including myself. And I personally believe that if you want to retire early, then most people should at least consider income investing should you choose to do so. Maybe use a blend between both investing strategies in your portfolio. I just want to show people who might be discouraged that you can live off dividends much faster by changing how and what you invest in. With income investing, you can start receiving high dividend payouts now as opposed to waiting years and years for dividends to grow with other stocks. Let me give you an example. I want you to imagine that you have $5,000 to invest, and you have two options. If you're a dividend growth investor, you might choose to invest that money into one of the popular dividend growth stocks. Let's use Johnson & Johnson in this case. Right now, J&J is yielding 2.44% as of the making of this video. If you invest $5,000 into J&J stock at $165.74 a share, which is what it's currently trading at, you'll be able to purchase 30 shares. J&J currently pays a quarterly dividend of $1.01 per share. If we multiply 30 shares times $1.01, we get $30.30 you'll receive per quarter. If we divide that by 3, which is how many months are in a quarter, we get roughly $10.10 a month. With a $5,000 investment, getting $10.10 per month is not a lot of money. That might pay your Netflix bill, but that $5,000 isn't going to get you anywhere close to living off passive income. If you double your investment to $10,000 of J&J stock, you'll receive $20.20 per month. That's still not a lot of money at all, and $10,000 can buy you a decent used car, and that amount is still only getting you a little over $20 a month. But now here's the point of dividend growth investing. This stock will most likely increase its dividend. There's technically no guarantee that a stock will increase their dividends, but in this case, Johnson & Johnson is a dividend aristocrat, so for this example, I'm just going to assume that they will. The last time they increased their dividend amount was a year ago, and they increased it by 6 cents a share. If J&J increases their dividend by another 6 cents, that means that next year, your original 30 shares you bought for $5,000 will earn you an additional 60 cents a month. Again, that's still nowhere near enough to live off of dividends, right? But now here's another key part of dividend growth investing, which is reinvesting your dividends. If you reinvest your dividends each quarter, you'll buy more shares, which will earn you more dividends each quarter. But remember, Johnson & Johnson is currently trading at $165.63 a share. So if you reinvest that quarterly dividend of $30.30, you're not even going to be able to buy one additional share of J&J. At this point, living off dividends might sound more like a fantasy than ever being a reality. You're going to have to keep buying more and more shares and invest more and more money and wait years and years until you're finally able to live off of passive income, whether entirely or for just part of your monthly expenses. But let me show you a different strategy using income investing as opposed to dividend growth investing. Let's take that same $5,000 and instead of investing it in a dividend growth stock, we put it into a more income producing stock. For this example, we'll use Ares Capital, which is a business development company that currently trades for $18.04 a share and has an 8.84% dividend yield, paying dividends quarterly. $5,000 divided by $18.04 will buy you 277 shares. Ares Capital's last dividend payment was for 40 cents a share. Your 277 shares will earn you $110.80 a quarter, or roughly $36.93 a month. And while it's still not a ton of money, it's a lot better than earning $10.10 a month with your typical dividend growth stock like Johnson & Johnson. If we take the same example and invested $10,000, you'd be looking at roughly $73.86 per month. Plus, imagine how much more significant the snowball effect would be if you chose to reinvest those dividends each time. You're going to be moving a lot faster towards living off passive income with this type of income strategy over dividend growth investing. This is by far the biggest positive with this investing strategy. You don't have to buy shares of a dividend growth stock and then wait years and years to actually start earning a good amount of money. With higher yielding investments, you can start receiving a high amount of income right away. Because I'll be honest, I don't have the patience to buy thousands of dollars of Johnson & Johnson and just watch it sit in my stock portfolio for 20 years until I finally start making good money from it. But now we need to address the biggest negative when it comes to this type of income investing, and that's the general lack of growth you're going to experience. With most of these high-yielding investments, you're not going to experience much capital appreciation of your initial investment. This is a graph of Ares Capital's stock price since its inception. When it was first listed over 15 years ago, it was trading at roughly $15 a share. Today it's trading at $18.04 a share. So in that 15 years, there wasn't much capital appreciation. And this graph doesn't account for reinvested dividends or anything like that. This picture shows the total dividend history for Ares Capital. As you can see, over the years there was some growth, but not a whole lot. And during the 2008 financial crisis, they had to reduce their dividends, although they've slowly been building it up since then. Let's compare that with Johnson & Johnson. Over the last 20 years, its stock price has seen a good amount of capital appreciation. And here's another picture that shows their dividend distribution since the stock's inception. This lack of growth with income investing turns a lot of people away from it, which I understand, but it's not a big concern for me, and I'll explain to you why that is. I do understand that my type of income investing means that I'm sacrificing capital gains and more dependable dividend increases in the future, but in return, I can live off dividends much faster in my life. If I want more capital appreciation, I can choose to reinvest some of my dividends some months and spend the dividends in other months when or if I need to. Guys, what you need to realize is that life is short. If I'm finally going to start receiving massive dividends from Johnson & Johnson when I'm 60, a lot of my life is already gone. It's going to be too late to do a lot of the things I wanted to do earlier in life if I wasn't so busy having to be a slave in corporate America. Personally, I don't care if I happen to amass $4 million or $8 million in my brokerage account when I'm 80, because it'll be too late for me to do anything with it anyways. I might be in a retirement home, and that'll mean that I spent all those years building wealth and not doing much with it. My kids will be able to enjoy what I spent my life working on, but I want to be able to have fun with what I've made. And if you're watching this and you're approaching retirement age, you don't have the time to wait decades and decades for this kind of growth with dividend growth investing. You're going to be looking for income opportunities once you're done working soon. But again, this type of income investing is not for everyone, and I understand that most people want that growth. They want that capital appreciation, which is totally fine. It's a good thing. But if you have dreams of retiring early or just having more money every single month to do things like go on vacations when you're younger, dividend growth investing isn't going to cut it for you unless you already have a huge lump sum of money to invest. I also need to mention the tax situation. Higher yielding income investments such as REITs, BDCs, MLPs, closed-end funds, and others are sometimes taxed as ordinary income as opposed to qualified dividends depending on what you invest in. So if you're the kind of person who wants to pay as little in taxes as you possibly can, this type of income investing is not for you. But I'm personally more willing to pay a little more in taxes if it means I can live off of passive income when I'm 40 as opposed to being 50 or 60. So if you're a dividend investor, my suggestion would be to add more income producing holdings to your portfolio in order to live off of dividends sooner. My channel Investing Bull was created for this purpose, to show high-yielding investing opportunities for people who dream of being able to depend on passive income for some or all of their income sooner than later in their lives. So let me know your opinion on this in the comments section below. If this video benefited you in any sort of way, please click the like button below and also hit the subscribe button for more content related to this. Feel free to check out some of my other recent videos for high-yielding stock opportunities, such as the top 5 highest-yielding monthly dividend ETFs or the top 5 highest-yielding REITs out there, both of which were videos I just recently published. Okay, that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.